Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. We usually play video games in chronological order, hence the Chronologically Gaming, but what do you do when you don't know the exact release date? Well, right now we're trapped at sometime in October 1982, and we play these games in alphabetical order. The last games we were playing were on the brand new SHG Blackpoint, an extremely obscure home console from Germany. Let's see what our next title is. We're next going to go on our TRS-80 and play Arex. Arex. I've referenced and heard about this one from the chat, but this is the very first time we've seen Arex. And it's going to be released on lots of other home computers. This is the very first on the TRS-80. Front of the box is very, very sci-fi-ish. I love it. The blue glow kind of reminds me of Alien, but it looks awesome. For the TRS-80 Model 1, 3, and 4 by William Mook. Way to go, William. Yeah, and it has the color computer. Oh, okay, so this is listing all the versions, but the very first one you could play was on the original TRS-80. Flip it over the back. Prepare yourself. A new era in graphics entertainment is about to unfold. Sounds intriguing. Witness Arex, a game imbued with thrilling precision of arcade action graphics. A game you'll want to play again and again. I should have made that the title of this live video. Sounds awesome. Yeah, the challenge is simple. You have to neutralize 90% of the enemy territory while avoiding 3 distinct types of alien perils. Now, just imagine it's October 1982. You go to the store to buy the game. This is on the shelf, and then you flip it over on the back. You take a look, and this is what you have to go off. There is no screenshots. This is another one by Adventure International, so you might be familiar with them. Okay, so a few months later, Curtis, we'll see this one on the color computer, and we're going to be seeing this on lots of other computers too. But you look at the back and the front, and this is it. There's no screenshot. All it is reading the back to see if the game's good, and the front. Arex means absolutely nothing to me. Does it mean anything to you, Arex? There's never been a game in which survival is so closely linked to split-second timing. The battle arena teams with perils, and here only the quick survive. What does this mean? And after someone that's played every single video game, what are we going to experience with Arex? Is it a shooter? I don't know. We'll see. Here's the rest of the art we have for Arex. Besides the box, there's the 5 1/4 floppy disk, boot and drive 0 for the TRS-80. And this one can be available on, it said 1, 2, 3, or 4, but I believe that was the later version. Is the TRS-80 Model 4 available right now in October 1982? So there's an example of the screenshot. Still not giving us much with the screenshot. Let's pop it and play some Arex. This is by Adventure International at sometime in October 1982. All right, there we go. And I want to go Arex. What's going to happen? This marks our 125th game we played for the TRS-80. All models of the original TRS-80. Sweet. Oh, look at that. Adventure International and the TRS-80. Whoa. And we have the talking too. That's great. That's one of the features of having it on the TRS-80, right? Yeah, I don't think it was available this early either. So that box was a later box. Thanks, Curtis. Okay, so it gives us some high scores over here on the right side, and then you can do 1 or 2 players, but you can't play at the same time. So let's go 1 player. This is our 90th game we've played by Adventure International. And that's across all systems and all ports of all games. So lots of Adventure International out there, especially all the ones by, oh, nice, by Scott Adams. Okay, so I am moving around as the cross on the screen, and all I'm doing is, oh, I can stop too. All I'm doing is making making a path. But it's not like a light cycle game like Tron. I have the way to stop. It's not going constantly like Snake or light cycle games. Man, the sound effects are awesome. It's like they took a big nod from Big 5 software. Sounds great. But yeah, all I'm doing is making a little path. I'm guessing I'm supposed to avoid him. And then if you look over on the right side, it's giving me my target area. Supposed to hit 90. Oh, but he got me. So much fun. Okay, so, oh, he didn't get me. Nice. Oh, if you run into him, that's how you get caught. Sweet. Oh, okay, great. Thanks, Curtis. You can hit opponents before they change into the missile. and I saw that my path was getting eaten up. Man, the sound is awesome. It's another one of those titles on the TRS-80 that feels like an arcade game. Definitely sounds it. And so let's see if we can trap one of these inside. Getting lower. Nope. Uh-oh. If you trap yourself in, there's no way out, right? Yeah, that's it. You're just stuck. And there we go. Now's the countdown. It's slowly eating away at the trail. Yep, faster and faster. It almost feels like a ticking a TNT fuse going down. There it comes. And, man, you gotta admit that the sound effects are so good for the TRS-80. You're number 10 in today's top scorers. Register your name. Can I put my full name? Yeah, the sound is so good. It allows you to do... Oh, do I move the No way! You use the joystick! Look at that! Wow, and the score table is over here on the right here above my shoulder. It's inputting it in real time while I'm putting. So, whoa, that's so cool. It's like I can rub them all away, right? Yes, it's doing it. Look at that! It's putting them in while I'm as if I was in the arcade. And I think I can do all of it. So even that, it's funny, we have a keyboard right in front of us, but it doesn't. The keyboard doesn't work. You use the joystick to put it in. And then come on down here to end. Whoa, that's awesome. Lots of fine-tuning to put the high score in. That makes it feel like it's in the arcade. Oh, nice. So for both versions. Yeah, the little musical bit is awesome, Curtis. I love it. All right, let's go in again. This is way too much fun. So this is the very first time we've seen a video game that is a variant of Kicks that we saw in the arcades. Now, it's not exactly like Kicks. You know, we're not drawing things in while the Kicks is going around, but this is the closest we've gotten to any game that is Kicks-ish ever. All right, we got to get 90%. Come on. And the target area is slowly counting down. You can see it at the bottom of the screen. Oh, I did it again. I'm trying to watch where I'm going and do the live show at the same time. I get caught in the middle of it. Yeah, it's going to go ahead and the fuse is going down all the way. So it feels kind of like it should be a snake game or a light cycle game. It might even look that way. It does not play that way. This is something new. This is different. The closest thing is Kicks, but it still is not exactly like Kicks. This would be a real treat to be able to play right now. Alright, let's do this without trapping ourselves. I bet we can trap those guys. Does it count as a life? It does. Yeah. So if they run into me, you have to avoid them. You can tell they spent a lot of time in the game, and it just seems polished. It's a polished video game. Yeah, that's the idea. I need to be able to trap them. Like this one up there. Now, can I get you? I bet I can get him if he comes back to the corner. Come on. There. There we go. Now we're looking good. Now it kind of reminds me we're going to play a game in the future called Jezball. But that's a long way from now. You can see the target area slowly going down. Come on. Is this going to work? Is this 90%? No, it's not 90%. I thought it would be close, but it's not. Yep. You have to finish the percentage to be able to complete the level. And there's lots of different levels, different enemies too. Man, it's so fun. Oh yeah, so kill them first. How do you kill the opponents? You hit them, so you smash into them, and it kills them? And I believe that is, yeah, the end of that level. Well, it didn't finish the level. We have game over. It still blows my mind hearing the games talk to us. Okay, just run into him. Thanks, Curtis. Man, so fun. This game feels like it has life. You know, like all this animation and action. Arex. Man, I love it. So there's two different ways you can play this game, at least the pros, if they're considered pros, is the dungeon play and the area play. Like how much area you're going to take over, or are you going to capture and remove them? There, got it. Just smash into them. Nice. Okay, yeah. Look at that. That one's... Oh, I should have just ran into him. I wonder, is that 90%? Let's see what he does. Yes, the capture worked and he's gone, and I think I got it. Yes, that's it. Sweet, so you move on. Next level, cool. And the next level already has some parts set up for us, so just as long as you keep moving, you should be okay. And this is joystick controlled. I didn't mention that. It's because of the adapter they had for the TRS-80. There's been, well, since Big 5 software, there's been lots of games that use the joystick, and that really brings up the game value of the original TRS-80. All right, go, go, go. Smash into him. Oh, that counts as a kill. Darn. In each level, they add a few obstacles, kind of like, you know, the top-down maze games, but that's not really a maze. But it gets more and more complicated as it goes on. All right, let's go ahead and clear this away. Oh, I guess I should have gone the other way. Trap them there and then go the other direction to clear out the whole thing. Man, this is so fun. Because this is a kind of new way to play. Unless you were in the arcades and you were familiar with kicks, this is a brand new thing, a way to play a video game. So the originality is through the roof. While it seems very simple, it's addictive, it's really fun, and it's a concept that's really fresh too. I'm not doing very efficiently, but you get the idea. The controls are just navigating around, and it's not automatic. I'm not automatically moving either. I can slow myself down. Come on, come on, come on. Take the bait. I dare you. Come on over here. No. Uh-oh, here it comes. I forgot we got the countdown. Let's see if it takes this one. There. No, I had to move one more time and I would have gotten it. Oh, yes, that's right. Well, Snafu, though, was automatically moving, so this one's a little different. Gameplay's slightly different. Okay, it's like the next evolution. All right, putting in high score correctly now that I figure out how it works. I love it. So much fun. That's awesome. There you go. That's Arex. I am impressed. I didn't have a whole lot of high expectations going into it because who knows what that is. Of all the games you can play right now across all home computers, this is great. This is 3.5 starting, and then let's go up from there because this is fantastic. Now, of all the games you could play right now, the grid capture game is what we would define these style of games. Majority of those are Amador kind of games. This is not. This is the very first time you can play kicks at home. So I'm looking over in the chat. Of all the games across all home computers, this is the very first time you could play Arex, and I'm already seeing 3.5s, 4s. Yeah, solid 4. I'm with you there, Psychosis. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. Solid 4 for Arex. Because right now, there's nothing else really that you could play to compare to this. The only thing I would say that would be lacking of not pushing it into one of the best games you could play across all home computers is just because, you know, it's an arcade game taking turns. But there is multiple game modes. And I'm only seeing even some 3.5s from the chat, too. All right, so 4 stars. Excellent, excellent game. And after Arex, what is next? Our next game is also on the TRS-80. This is Babel Terror, another game that I'm not familiar with. All those TRS-80 aficionados, let me know. This one only has 1 box I was able to find, and by box, all this is from an ad in a magazine blown up. That's why it looks so bad, but that's all I have for Babel Terror. And then the other thing is just a screenshot. It's very bare bones. Babel Terror, it must be hard to come by. Let me know if you find any other artwork for it, because this is it. Let's pop in and play Babel Terror on our TRS-80. This is by Yves L'Empereur, published by Funsoft at sometime in October 1982. Yes. All right, so here we go. This one should just load as Babel. Not Babel, like Babel. We're going to babble something. Oh, okay, Curtis, you don't know this one. Let's see and explore it together. This game is only available on your TRS-80, the original. And this one is our 126th game we played on the TRS-80. Oh, got the presentation. Yes, welcome to Babel Terror. It talks to us. Man, I love the games that do that. Okay, so we have space for instructions. Let's figure it out. This is by Yves Lempereur. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing the name, but this is the 6th game we've seen by them on the show, and they've been okay, pretty good games. For Funsoft, the game that published this one's the 4th game we've seen published by Funsoft after Apple Panic, The Black Hole, and Mad Mines. All right, how do we play this? Babel Terror. Eat Babbles and stars. So there's Babbles and stars. We look kind of like the enemies. Use the arrow keys, move your ship, and press spacebar to disappear. An extra ship is awarded after each 1,000 points. Press break or clear to abort the game. we already knew that. We know how to abort the game. And that's it. Good luck. It's a 1 or 2 player game, but it's, again, like an arcade game. You can't play at the same time. All right, so pushing player 1. Every time you play, the maze is randomized. It's creating it for us right now. Don't you love how fast the game is now? For randomizing things. We played video games in the past, and it took a long time to randomize. Oh, it works with a joystick. You don't need the keyboard. Look, I'm over in the top left. I'm like a giant blob character. I'm adorable. Not as adorable as Pac-Man, or maybe, I don't know. Look at this. It has this little and the slight animation when I move left and right. It's a really nice touch. But you move around the maze. We're supposed to get to the exit, and I believe we have a temporary disappear that you just saw. Use the only button on our joystick, and that's how you disappear. And so we pick up the babbles all around, and it looks like there's a bonus counting down. So we're supposed to make our way through a scrolling maze. Very, very rare. Let's disappear again. I think we lose. Oh yeah, we're losing bonus for doing that. But there is no power up. It's not like Pac-Man. Uh-oh. And that's where we ended, right? Oh, nice. You can see the maze if you hold the button down and move the joystick at the same time. Cool. Thanks, Nathan. You're keeping a track. I love it. All right, this is Babel Terror for the TRS-80 at some time in October 1982. We are trapped somewhere in October 1982. But joystick controlled. It's got talking. It's got top-down maze, 2D scrolling action, which is awesome. And this doesn't have a ton of dots to pick up. This is not a collect-a-thon like Pac-Man is. It just has a few babbles you're supposed to pick up. Slower paced, though. In a way, it kind of reminds me of the game we played called Dung Beetles, the one where they zoom in on a part of the maze and it scrolls around. But that one was non-stop picking up dots. This one is just go find the babbles. Do they hunt me? They do not. Nice. And then how do I see the maze? There we go. So you can get a little snapshot. You can move the joystick and then push the button, and then you see the maze. Uh-oh. Don't kill me. Wait, where'd he go? Whoa, I think I glitched the game. When you go to the map and come back, then the enemies go away. I'll take it. So you very carefully move around the maze, picking up all the babbles, and it looks like if you're fast enough, you know the maze well enough, then, let's see, I'm in uncharted territory. I'm at the top. Okay, so it really doesn't tell us. Oh, I guess it does. The babbles, I believe, are where they have set the screen. Yeah, it's like white. Uh-oh, why didn't I go invisible? No, go invisible. Now the invisible isn't working. Yep, it's just going to the map. Uh-oh, how do I fix it? It didn't explain this in the instructions. It's just going map now instead of making me disappear. You're supposed to have this invisibility that lets you warp or phase through enemies. So random game to play. You're getting a different experience every time. The other thing I was going forward is it's a top-down maze game and it scrolls. Maybe the downside for me would be the speed. It seems like I'm chugging. It's a little slow, but that's just really nitpicking. All right, let's try this again. There's the map. Now, how do I get back to how it was before? I'm looking at the way out. Yeah, it is showing the babbles on the screen. There, you can see there's one right below me, and it's marking it on the map as just a white square. So that's how you pick them all up. After you pick them all up, then you go to the next level. Like Pac-Man, just not having to pick up a ton of dots. How do I phase in and out, though? Maybe I ran out. You only get so many after so many lives. Yep, I don't know what to do now. How do I avoid the enemies? Because there's a dead end down here. Maybe he doesn't follow me. Or maybe he does and I die. Yep, if he does. All right, so we can enter our name or our initials. Sweet. Let's go. Can we do, yeah, Chrono. We're on the TRS-80. Got to make it capitalized. Chris, that's a long stretch for a dungeon crawler. I usually include elements that are role-playing in a dungeon crawler. There are some dungeon crawlers we played that are action only. You know, like the adventure, or sorry, venture, and that one feels better. All right, so let's go ahead and go back in again. I like it, though. It's still fun. I want to get an understanding of when I'm going to phase in and out or when I'm going to go to the map. I think it has to do with where my joystick's placed. Let's see, I got +3. Still have +3. And it's time, too. So once I phase out, all it does is take a few seconds, then you come back. Okay, now, how do I get to the map? Or maybe after you've used enough, then it just goes to the map. Map lasts a few seconds, too. Interesting. Yeah, there's something happening with whether you phase in or out or whether you go to the map. But you better make sure. It might be also when you go to the map, you're losing bonus points. Or when you phase in and out, you lose bonus points. But pick up all those babbles, go to the next level, it randomizes another level. And so it has the scrolling going for it. There's not that many games that are doing that right now. So this one is the 17th game we've played so far across all video gamedom that has scrolling. It's a top-down maze game that has scrolling. So there's only, think of it, there's only 17 other games that you could compare this kind of view to or gameplay to. And in a way, you could say this is like a slow Rally X. That's why I feel like something's lacking. Or Rally, which we played. We played Rally on the TRS-80. That was the TRS-80's version of Rally X. But some of the better ones would be Getaway that you could play on the Atari home computer, or Star Maze on the Apple II. Yeah, tad slow gameplay, but still has something there. It's working. So something's happening when I do go to the map. I'm able to still kill the enemies. Thanks, Charlie. At this point, I wouldn't call this the tech demo. This one's still pretty good. It's around the average range for what you'd expect for a video game. Because if you bought this in your TRS-80, I know you'd be wowed by something new and flashy like Arex. But this one would still, you'd have a pretty fun time. Sweet. There you go. That is Babel Terror on the TRS-80. Of all the games you could play right now on a home computer, I would still say it's around the average range. It's not super impressive, but it still is unique. It's still a little bit of fun, kind of slow. So yeah, it's around the 3-star range of all the games that you could play on all home computers. I'm actually going to go one step higher and say because of the scrolling and because of the randomization and because they're giving you a few different enemy types, they're also it's changing a few things up. I'll still say 3.5 stars. It's still a good time. All right, so with that, what is next? Next, it's time to storm the beaches of Normandy. This is Battle for Normandy. The first one we're going to check out is on the TRS-80. Here's the box for Battle for Normandy. Oh, look at the bottom. It's by SSI, Strategic Simulations Incorporated. This is the 33rd game we played by SSI here on the show, and that's all ports too, not just one game. It's every time we played an SSI game. Front of the box is awesome. It's got the troops coming out of the monitor right at you. Ooh, nice. Notice they tried to get a computer that isn't a certain computer. You know, it's like just a generic computer. It's funny that that's their view of a generic computer right now in October 1982. So this one's pretty cool. This is the very first video game where you get to play a war game doing the beaches of Normandy invasion. Like we get to do that in a video game. Really, really cool. Did I miss my where'd my mark go? I guess we can't flip the box over. Let's try it again. Oh, I see. My controller just died on us, so I'm going to have to try it again. And there. That's what I wanted to see. Battle for Normandy. The Wargamer's Dream Vacation Package, 25 days on the northern coast of France. On the left side, they have a couple screenshots for us, the Apple version and the Atari version. Actually, yeah, it looks like they cut off a little bit. The one we're going to play first is on the TRS-80, so ignore those screenshots. It won't look like that at all. Oh, Charlie got this on Commodore 64. That's awesome. Yeah, we'll be seeing that one a little bit later. So this one, of course, it's by SSI, is one of those strategic war games. This is the 51st strategy war game we've played on the show. That's how many war games are out there. It's in full force right now. And as far as turn-based strategy, you know, taking turns back and forth, this is the 38th game we played that takes that trope. All right, so this is also the third game that Technical Design Group has done for SSI. The other ones that we saw were Tigers in the Snow and I believe Dnieper Riverline, or maybe it was Battle of Shiloh was Battle of Shiloh was the other one. Here's the ad you would have seen in magazines at the time for SSI, and I think we've already seen this one. It's $40 for the newest war game for your home computer. Now, this is the cassette we're going to pop into play. On one side is the TRS-80, and on the other side is the Atari home computer version. We'll be seeing all of them, of course. There's the example of what the screenshot's like. And, oh man, I don't know if we should go into all of them. But here's the reference card that you have alongside the manual, because you know with strategy games you're going to need to know what the commands are and how to do everything. This explains how to load the game, because sometimes it's a little tricky to do that on the TRS-80, and then this displays the movement and combat, because every now and then you might need a refresher, so you got this little card you can reference. And it also gives you the map display and gives you a key so you know what everything means. You will have all this open playing this right now in October 1982. They were the best strategic military group. Yes, Psychosis Media, they were. All right, so, I mean, they are. It's October 1982. Here's the manual for Battle for Normandy. I am not going to read this in its entirety. It is like a book. But SSI did have the help of Tactical Design Group for this one. They kind of got off to a rocky start, but this one, the premise is awesome. The briefing's kind of interesting because it's giving you commands, but you're supposed to be the commander. So it's kind of funny that they're giving you the commands of what to do. They give the overview of what it's like, a little bit of history behind it, storming the beaches of Normandy, how combat formations work, all your enemy forces. This is going to be able to play on both Ally and Axis forces, and if you have two people, you can play against each other, taking turns, of course. We have logistics, the amphibious assault, because we start in the water and then have to get on land, and if you play against the computer, it is tough. Germany holds you down, and it's very, very difficult to push through. You have air and naval support as well, and it explains the combat, how the combat works. Now, this has different scenarios. You can start with making the genuine, I'm going to play like it's the beaches of Normandy, as close as historically as possible. Or you can go the other route and just change everything up. So you have a few options too. You start with airborne drops, and this is really a game of resources in your supplies. Are you able to keep all the resources up while you try this invasion? That's really what's going to make or break your results. We have movement, how movement works. We're on the TRS-80 and Atari, and you can see they have a different number scheme, but you still move your units in a hex-type view. And then combat, how the combat works. And then we also have the transports that are available, because this does take place over a certain amount of days. So you have a certain amount of days, I believe it's a month or close to a month, to finish the invasion. And everybody I've told, as at least looked online, that's tried the TRS-80 version, not to bash the other versions, hasn't completed this. So I don't know anybody that's completed the TRS-80 and actually successfully invaded the beaches of Normandy. So let me know if anyone ever actually did. Yeah, so it shows you the weather forecast, lots of different stats that you need to know ahead of time, how the infiltration works, victory points, combat resolution, strategy level. This is strategy. SSI brings it. The interdiction effects, difficulty levels as well. And we'll be going with a novice when we play. But you can go with, I want the historically accurate. No, Chris, it's not real time. This is turn-based. Yeah, it's one turn at a time. We have terrain effects, and then, oh, there we go. Here we got the giant page on historical analysis of what it's like. What it was like then. So this is the TRS-80 versions. David Landry is the main one that did this one. Way to go, David. And I believe we have, yeah, there we go. Different terrain effects, and then we have the cards that we saw in the end. Already got the reference card ready. All right, so for this one, I think that's it. Yeah, let's pop into play Battle for Normandy on the TRS-80. It is sometime in October 1982. This is the first one we're going to check out by SSI. It is a TRS-80 night. It feels like we've been playing nothing but TRS-80. So this one, we're going to need to load up basic to get it go. This is going to go all in basic. It's amazing. I think I got it right. I hope it's named Normandy. That would make sense, right? All right, so David Landry, Charles J. Krogel Jr., that's the big hitters, developers of Tactical Design Group. And as the game loads up, you can see here, it's SSI on the TRS-80, which here on the show, we haven't played that many. I was surprised I was able to find this one to get to run for us. There it is. Tactical Design Group. Let's go. You want to play a new game? Yes, we do. You want to change any ratings or players. So here's where you can decide if you want to play with another person. If you got another nerdy strategic friend or war gamer that wants to play with you, you can. Or you can make changes to the game. I want to say no. We're not going to go through all the stats because then we'd be here even longer. So there you go. It starts off right here on a map that spans from the Kotanen to the bit of East Caen. The landing beaches are predetermined. So they're telling us where everyone's landing. Each beach, Omaha, Juneau, Sword, there we go. Classic. And so that's the air battalions. Now it's asking if we want to drop airborne divisions above this hex, and now it's your decision. I'm going to say yes. And do we want to drop to the 101st Airborne here? Yes. And you can see it's dropping more and more A, which is Americans down. Yes. Nice. Now, as the game boots up, it's already given us the pre-populated map. G is for the Germans. It's in spirit, a hex view, but it's not really using the grid. Notice that it's not drawing the lines of the grid. Every other version we're going to play is going to have that. Only the TRS-80 has this. So there you go, top-down view, and it's stuck here. It doesn't go anything else from here. Some of the other versions, they do more of a flip screen going from one to the other. But this is it. What you see here is what we got. This system that they put in for this game is a new improved one, much better than the Tigers in the Snow or Battle of Shiloh. There, it's loading everything in, giving us combat, amphibian, naval, general, fuel, air. And so it's a game of resources. The first thing you have to do is split all your resources across the different categories. So it's going to ask about fuel, and you have to add up to 100%. So I'll just say 10 for fuel. In general, let's give 20 for general. For combat, let's give 30. So for landing, we have to total 100, so I'll say 40. So we totaled 100. It's going to split up all of our resources at the top. And now we begin the logistics phase. We are not going to play an entire turn in its entirety because it takes a very long time to go from one unit to the other as you go around the map. Okay, so here you go. First unit, decide where you want to head off. Let's go ahead and go over to the side. Yep, there we go. And let's end one more time. Let's get a little closer. I want to get to this German force here. And can I go down to 3? I don't think you can. Yeah, you can't engage yet. So I'll say end that one. And so you're moving your units around first. Once you get close enough, then you can engage in combat. Combat's fairly simple. Depending on whatever stats the unit has and whatever stats you have, you engage in combat, roll a little dice, and then boom, someone dies and someone lives. There is no animation, there's no zooming in, there's no cutscenes. It's very, very simple. It's typical for strategy games you'd expect right now. I love it, Scruffy looking, and I kind of want that to be the case. But we're in France right now. If this was Germany, yes, then I would want Castle Wolfenstein. All right, so German operational victory. Do we want to save the game? No. I do not want to save this one. If I was far enough in the game, though, yes, I definitely would want to save. So where do we want everything to go? We split up our forces. Let's go more with, let's go 30, and let's go 50 for combat. And I think we only got 10 left. Yeah, total's 100. Interdiction. Let's go 30. And there we go. So it's doing the logistics phase. And this is the way the game is played out. You move turn by turn. Going against Germany as the computer is almost insane. I'd rather be playing this with a human being, learning it with someone else, because the German makes perfect calculated moves, and it's almost a no-win situation, which is too bad, because I'd love to see you actually storm the beaches of Normandy. And this is the very first game where you could do this, and the first one we've ever seen here on the show. All right, there you go. So that's Battle for Normandy. First seen here on the TRS-80. Now, this game is actually all right. It's better than the other ones we saw by Tactical Design Group, and it's around the average range for all the games you could be playing right now on a home computer, strategy-wise. Be sure to check out the links down below that I have for Wargaming Scribe. He deals a lot more detail into these strategy titles, and so see his write-up. You're going to get a lot more information on this game because he plays it in its entirety. Here on the show, showcasing, you don't get the full breadth of the complexity of it. I'm still going to say, of all the titles you can see right now and play right now, it is better than some of the others that we've rated a little bit lower. I'm going to go 3.5 stars for everything across all home computers, at least here on the TRS-80. Oh, nice. Yes, I see in the chat a few other really good ratings. That's awesome. All right, it's time to put the video game playing on pause. Strategy gaming on pause. Next time on Chronologically Gaming, there's going to be more beaches of Normandy to storm as we play more versions of the latest strategy game and a new way to shoot on your Apple II. That's it for today, and like I always say, war, what is it good for? Video games. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are perpetually retro, and we will catch you next time.